everyone, this is Insomniac GM, and I have an RPG or Insomniac Diary for you all. So, for this diary, I want to cover some recent updates for me when it comes to RPGs. For one, not directly related, but I've been creating my own paper lately, recycling bills and whatnot, and I know I need to clean off the edges on this, but with doing this, I can create my own character sheets by hand, make it look a little bit more nice. I love making character sheets, and doing it this way gives me an extra element to it that I enjoy, but it's not mainly for RPGs. Now, what I do want to talk about is I was doing some Kickstarter unboxing videos and that. Sorry. Now the two Kickstarters I got that came in the mail, one of them I recorded my reaction. It didn't go well, so I never uploaded it. And then another one, I got it mixed up with a package for our wedding. So because of that, I couldn't do an unboxing on that. So I'm just going to give you my reaction or whatever to it now. And that is, the first one I received was Mutants in the Now, Mutants in the Next. This is pretty much your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness, which Palladium at the time of recording this just announced they're making a new one. So looks like I might have to get that. But Anthem Mutants in the Next is like a supplement book. It adds a little bit more options for character creations and whatnot. I haven't really dove in too deep into these books. I gotta say, I so far I haven't seen anything I really want to run. I've seen some options for making your mutants a little bit more unique. Like I randomly generated a character and made like a wasp mutant who's like invisible and that. So there's that. Like I said, I'm not as excited. I have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness. I have After the Bomb. I have this. The three are pretty much the same game. And now they're making a new one. So, my next one, I got Dive. Now, with Dive, it's not necessarily a rule book on its own. You still need to buy Mothership to use, but I believe Mothership, it was either on sale or it's free period, but I ended up getting it I got it for free digitally, so I don't think I'm going to buy Mothership physically. I'm just going to use this. Dive is an RPG where it's a horror game where your characters get stressed, anxiety, whatnot, and you're underwater. Examples of this are movies like Underwater, Deep Blue Sea, Meg 2, stuff like that. And yeah. Excuse me, coughing. I'm trying to keep it to a minimum, but I am dealing with a cold. So there was that. Now, those were my last Kickstarters that needed to come in. Other than that, I got a board game. Still not sure if I'm going to put that on here because I'd be using the minis maybe for gaming, but I don't know. Now, my girl, as a gift, bought me Rifts, Russia. Now, there is Mystic Russia. I still need to get that. But I am crazy about the Rifts games and their world books and all that. But this whole game, as the title suggests, it takes place in Russia. What's involved? I haven't gotten around to reading it, so I'm rather vague on it. And even when it comes to reading it, I gotta get the Mystic Russia too, because that's another part to the book. Now, so these are 2 RPGs I decided to buy myself. Now, one of them I did cover on this channel when it was digitally, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I suck at going through books digitally. I hate going through books digitally. When I try to go through digitally, it's a lot more harder to get my focus and whatnot. So I finally bit the bullet. I bought this book physically, and I gotta say, I am legit surprised how much I did not remember being in this book. I thought this book, in my head, was maybe about like 80 pages. That's how bad I am at retaining this. And in here, it's at 232 pages. But Machinations of the Space Princess, I think I'm going to redo this video, delete that video, especially when I recorded it. I feel like I got too distracted talking about like a setting idea for the game, and even now, like, I think back to it and it's like, I don't like that idea. But Machinations of the Space Princess, it is your it's like Star Wars in a sense. It's an OSR game, but it's like Star Wars. It's more adult oriented. It's a lot more sleazy and whatnot. But you can create your own races. One thing I love about their world building mechanic is I love the fact that it gets into the politics of the world, and I really do enjoy that. So that's one thing I'm intrigued with. And then lastly, I got myself Forgotten Tales of Sword and Sorcery. Now, this book is about the size of what I figured Machinations was. But this is an RPG set in a, sword and sorcery type game. Now, sword and sorcery, think kind of like Conan or Red Sonja. There's some others I'm drawing a blank on right now. But you're going to be playing like characters who are using like Bronze Age weapons and that. And magic is just very evil. There's options in here for players to play a sorcerer. But I think running this, I don't think I'd let a player use one. Because I'd want them to be more heroic, and I want them to deal with evil. But yeah, I love how this game seems. It's very simple, straight to the point. I love that they have like a mad god creation and whatnot. So this, I'm looking forward to running. I know my fiance looked at both this book and Machinations of the Space Princess, and she's not as into RPGs as me, nowhere near as much, but she freaked out when she saw those. She loved them. She wants to play those. Especially Machinations. Machinations, she told me that if I ever run a campaign, I better give her an invite. And Sword and Sorcery, she's been pushing for me to run that as a Halloween one-shot. Right now, I did have a Halloween one-shot idea for this year that I was sitting on since last year, and I try to tailor my Halloween one-shots for a certain audience, and there's so much that's getting in the way with that I don't think I'm going to run the one-shot I wanted to run this year, but it was a Godzilla Halloween one-shot. What I might end up doing this year is I'm thinking about going to my normal RPG group and just talking to them and being like, hey, I have an idea for you guys. Let's play Tales from the Loop. You guys play kids. It's going to be Halloween. It's not going to be horror. We're going to go more just in the Halloween spirit. So we'll see how that goes. I know some of them have been wanting to play Tales from the Loop for some time, and I think it would be refreshing if I didn't go horror. I don't run horror all the time, but horror is something I'm crazy about. My players expect it from me. So, yeah. But that is my Insomniac Diary. Sorry for the long pause on the videos. There's probably going to be a longer pause on these videos just because I'm getting closer to the wedding and work is starting to pick up. And frankly, you can't really see it too well on here, but my office is a huge mess because I'm trying to create that paper and whatnot. So, but I'll see you guys again next time. And really quick, this may seem a little off topic, but I started thinking about how I would like to end these videos on a more positive note. So for you who is listening, I appreciate you, whether you're subscribed or not. And just know that I hope the best happens to you, and I hope if you're struggling that you get through it fast, and that I'm praying and hoping for you. And we can always use more positivity in our lives. So just want to spread the love. So you take care.